was an American, older than you.
Yeah.
She suffered from PTSD, and she had a very distinctive voice and a very special way she carried herself.
Yeah.
How hard was it for you to actually tap into her?
It was just a process that had to be handled very delicately. I think I needed to deal with all the parts of her. My director is Matthew Heineman, who's a documentary maker. This is his first narrative film, and I thought if she was alive, he would be making a documentary about her. Yeah. And so I thought, well, there are these areas that I need to make sure are right. Some to do with me, some to do with hair and makeup. You know, there's her hair, it's a huge part of her. Yeah. The eye patch has to be right, but her relationship to her good eye, the way that affected her loss of vision affected the way her head moved, the way she looked, the way she'd process a room, the way she judged distance, the way that the traumas that she'd witnessed went into her body.
Yeah, it seems like she was carrying like a very heavy weight on her shoulders.
Yes, I felt that.
Any given minute.
It's a curious thing. I tricked my body into feeling it was her, and sometimes now when I see the film, or if somebody talks to me about a certain scene, my heart will race, or I'll feel a tightness in my chest, and it's odd because it's not me, and I know it's not me, but it's somewhere in me.
You can't really let her go.
I can't let her go quite. No, it's a very it's never been quite this intense with another role. Actually, I feel very connected to somebody I will never meet, and that is a very odd feeling. And then I met her sister for the first time the other day, and I burst into tears. It was like a complete sort of overwhelming feeling of I don't know what it was.
I need a photographer. Any good?
The best. I can't stop thinking about it.
Once you go crazy, it's not something you get used to.
As much as I see photographs like that, and we're in these, we're trying to depict these war zones and trying to hear these people's stories and make it feel as real as possible, I don't really know. I'm never going to know what it's actually like to experience firsthand, the strife of these civilians. So, you're just doing the best you can with the information that you're given. But, luckily there is a lot of information out there, and we had Paul there for real to tell us exactly how it felt like in those situations, which was incredible.
We were 6 years later, and nothing really changed. We look at the numbers, 500,000 civilians, more than that even, were killed. Do you hope that this movie will bring this issue to the front again?
It's always a battle in journalism. It's like the news cycle, because this has gone on for 6-7 years. It's got to be a huge atrocity to get on the news now. It's got to be a big chemical attack. Yeah. The stakes have to get higher and higher to get news. This is such a great way, because people get news blind. They know this story for 6 years.
But has it ever occurred to you while now processing through the movie again that maybe it was all for nothing?
I don't think it's ever for nothing. If you're giving people the truth of what's happening, then that's totally worthy. It's a real shame that things haven't progressed much in that time, and that is still as big an issue today as it was when Marie lost her life. But the more that you can shed light on it, then the better chance it has of being helped.
We're not asking individuals to even do anything radical. It's even just to care is enough, to pay attention, to listen, to bother to hear the stories. That's all. And Marie knew that her words could puncture people in a way. It's not about making people feel guilty for their privilege or having a nice life. It's just making them listen, and that's what the Syrian people wanted us to do. They wanted people to hear their stories.
If you use the sat phone, those drones will know where we are.
We don't have time!
No one in their right mind would do what you do.
Maybe I would have liked a more normal life. Maybe I just don't know how.